Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name's Bobby Waldron and welcome to this inbox review where we're going to be taking a look at Airfix's brand spanking new tool of their 1/48 scale Sepecat Jaguar GR.1 GR.1A. Really nice kit by Airfix. It looks good, a lot of hype about it, but let's open up and check it out. So let's get our first sprue here, which is some main surface detail for the kit, which if we bring you in nice and close, first impressions is I'm quite surprised, right? This doesn't feel like your atypical Airfix style surface detail. We do have recessed panel lines, recessed rivets that do actually seem to look in scale. Airfix has kind of always had this out of scale surface detail, and you know, a little bit lacking as well with the detail as well, but hopefully, as you can see, this is looking rather stunning. Quite a nice change there on Airfix's part. Now I do believe, I mean, we do have a bit of a tail fin just here, and it's one of these pieces where you kind of put that piece in, as you can see quite clearly there. Maybe kind of like you might, the join there might not be the best. You might have to put a bit of work in there. I don't like it when they do those kind of fits, but hopefully it'll be good. You do also get two pilots as well, which does kind of suggest they're going to bring out some sort of a two-seater as well down the line. The pilots are, you know, pretty good detail. We can make out their details: eyes, mouth, nose, helmet and stuff. Tiny bit of flash going on around it, but I don't think it should be that much of a big deal. Moving along, we have our fuselage section, which again, the surface detail we're seeing throughout the kit, and considering we've got these 90-degree angles, right, we're still seeing the lovely surface detail even with those 90-degree angles, which is good to see from Airfix. Actually rather impressive there. And obviously we've got two of them, one for either side, and the detail again is looking pretty stunning. Moving along, we do have then a lot of the bits and bobs and all this kind of stuff. Now what you'll notice as well is all our landing gear, wheel well bays and stuff, they're in the box configuration, which means you kind of build this sort of box, which I do like because it does mean that you get good surface detail all around the landing gear, rather when it's one piece and like one wall might be blank or something like that. And as you can see, lots of good hoses and pipes and all sorts of goody detail going on there, so should look rather good inside all our little wheel wells and all that. Wheels are in different halves, right? Hopefully, as you can see there, I think there's a couple of different types as well. Good detail on them. Also, we have a bit of our landing gear as well. Not looking too bad. I don't know if there's some sort of like stress going on inside the actual packaging, but you can almost see where it's kind of almost bending there, right? So you just want to be careful with that, but as you can see, they are two halves that you bring together, so looking good with that. Ejector pin marks now, okay, you do have these sort of big long ejector pin marks, no problem cutting them off though, in all fairness. We do have a couple more sprues here. We do have what looks to be a gorgeous exhaust as well. I do believe this all builds in to become one piece, and you do have a very nice exhaust in the end just there. A bit more again surface detail. As you can see, this is put back of the fuselage section. Moving along as well, ejector seat. Really cool ejector seats going on here, because we do have again lots of lovely detail. This is the surprising thing. I mean, not knocking Airfix too much, but this is a big step up for them. In all honesty, I'm noticing a lot better detail than some of their other kits that they bring out. And as you can see, lovely bits going on there for our ejector seats. Then we have coming to like weapons and stuff, and Other details, this sprue here, we do have all sorts of kind of little odds and sods, nothing really to sort of write home about there. Same good level of detail throughout the kit. We have our fuel tanks just here, as well as our pylons. Now pylons come in 2 halves, again lovely surface detail on them as well as our fuel tanks. Again, detail, which is very, very nice. Coming to our last sprue, which is a very big sprue. As you can see, we do have the forward fuselage section. Again, more lovely surface detail on there. We do have different nose cones, right, which is rather good, so you can do different variants, a bit more cockpit detail just there. These are actually jigs as well, which I'll show you in the instructions in a bit. There's our tub, looks pretty plain, but you do glue in all your little bits on there, which, as you can see, lovely surface detail there. Instrument display panel looking well detailed, as you can see just there. More cockpit detail here. Again, do you know what? I've got this, it's almost like it's bending. Oh, sorry, off camera. Almost like it's bending. You can just see that white line where it's almost sort of cracking. So I'm not sure about the packaging, but nothing's really broken there. But as you can see, lovely detail again. That's going to go inside the cockpit area just there. Then we have a couple of free fall bombs. As you can see, there's about, I think, 4 altogether. Nice couple of ECM pods, sensors, and all that kind of good stuff, as well as our sidewinders. They're looking well detailed as well. So that's all the sprues, apart from, if I just get out our clear parts now, which again, Airfix sometimes falls a bit short. Now I'm just going to put this up to the light. This canopy here, again, it's all good clear see-through plastic, but it does look like a bit, I don't think you can see on camera, it's got a little bit of scuff on it, again from the packaging. However, this one looks absolutely stunning. This one, as I say, a little bit of scuffing going on there, but it's good clear quality plastic in there as well. And then all the other little bits of clear parts. Now moving along with instructions and decals. Now Airfix do normally use cartograph decals, which are I think one of the best decalers out there. It's goes well with micro solid set. They do look like it. I haven't seen anything that says they am, but they do look like cartograph, and they're normally good from Airfix, which as you can see, everything, we do have decals for the instrument display panel, which does look like there's a lot of lovely nice detail in there. And if you kind of look at it, you can sort of read the writing out. The colors look good, everything's in registry, no sort of problems there. Nicely laid out as well, for whichever markings you're going to do. Decals are going to be real good. So we come to the instructions, which is a little bit interesting. We do have good old Airfix type paper, a little bit of a description. It's in colour, standard paper. Now it does kind of let you sort of know at the start about, you know, where you're going to put different sort of weapons loadout, and to really sort of emphasise not to put your pylons on until you put your decals on. Right, so nice little start there, just a bit of a warning. Bringing the ejector seat together. Okay, so I'm actually showing you the decals at the start where they go on the ejector seat and the instrument display panel, to sort of get you with all that sort of at the start before you start building, as well as what colours to paint your pilots as well. So nice kind of reference there to start with. So onto the build, moving along with the cockpit. Looks very sort of straightforward, building a cockpit, building an ejector seat. We do have what looks to be different options for which version of Jaguar you decide to build. What you will notice, as I said before, like, you know, the landing gear, the wheel wells are nicely boxed, so it's like, you know, you build a box and the detail just looks way more better, easy to follow going on there. And then just here, right, if we bring you in a little bit closer, there are pieces, a lot of pieces in this kit whereby, as you can see in the purple, it builds, you can have these jigs that you attach to the model. So if you want to remove the nose cone to put on a different nose cone, you've got this jig to help you cut it off. And you will notice in these instructions of this kit, there's a lot of these jigs to help you with your build, which I think is rather good of Airfix. And as you can see, you can choose the different nose cone and all that business. And that's basically the front part of your fuselage section done, and then you move along with the back part of the fuselage section. Again, you know, you've got those nice box shapes, so they do look rather good. It is nice how everything is explained nicely as well with the instructions. They really do go to detail. You know, make sure you line this up, and this version has this version has that, drilling holes and stuff. I do think at the back, just here, this is you know, you're probably going to have a bit of a join fit thing going on there, maybe a bit of filling and sanding, so, you know, test fit. Moving along, we do have again another jig here for our air intakes, right, just to make sure it's all lined up and stuff. So again, really good to go to that level. And you put your air intakes on. Again, probably going to be a bit of a maybe a fit issue there, or potential fit issue, so it's good to get those test fits going on. And then the wing sections look straightforward. Bring the top and the bottom together, peg them down onto the fuselage. Again, you know, test fit, because you're probably going to have filling, sanding and scribing around where that joins the fuselage section. Again, we've got more jigs for bits and bobs then going on to our Jaguar just here. Exhaust area does look nice. It does mean we could probably spray this separately and then glue it in right at the end or something like that. We do have all these lovely things like ailerons, flaps and slats, which do seem to be in posable positions. Again, rather good. Landing gear, I mean, there's quite a bit here, you know, to sort of study on how all this landing gear goes together, but it does look like it gets you there nicely in the end. It does look a bit complex, in all honesty, but, you know, again, the instructions do seem clear enough to get you there. And then it shows you all the wheel well doors, canopy open or closed, again, all good stuff there. Lots of different options again showing you that, and you've then got your pylons and your weapons and all that kind of good stuff to go on there. So moving along with the last little bit of this kit is a nice bit of good quality paper of the actual markings you get with this, which I do believe you get 4 markings with this. We get a nice 1990 to 1991, the Desert Storm one, which, you know, a lot of us may like. We do also have a 1976, the whole wraparound camo version as well. Everything is all clearly showing you where the decals are and what color schemes to use. And then we have another 2 more markings here. This is the 1990 1994 number 6 Squadron wraparound camo, and then this is the 1974 one where the underside is, I do believe, a light aircraft grey. Then we also have all our weapons and stores. Again, everything clearly nicely shown to you, except that was upside down. Yeah, very good. So all in all, this kit again was released this year, 2025. This kit is around about the, I think it's about the £55 mark, or a little bit underneath that, which, considering it's a brand spanking new mold, you know, it's a jet, you know, it's not a bad price, I don't think, actually, from Airfix. Decals look amazing. The plastic, the surface detail looks amazing. It's a complex shape, I will say, which does make it a challenge for the manufacturers to get it to fit good because of just the shape it is. You know, so I do think you need to do a lot of sort of test fitting to get this to fit nicely, but it looks like it could be one of the best Jaguars out there that you can buy in 1/48 scale. So it's definitely a big thumbs up here at Genesis Models for Airfix for their 1/48 scale Jaguar GR.1/A. Other than that, hopefully you've enjoyed this review. So as always, until next time, my name is Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I'll catch you later.